Hey guys, so I wanted to talk a little bit today about multi-species grazing, and that is taking more than one species of animal and co-grazing them together. So we have started doing this, and we've been doing it for the past 6 years with cattle and goats. And we just got our sheep over the weekend, so I'm really excited. We got some hair sheep. They are Katahdin, Romanoff, and Dorper mixes, so they're really cute, and I will post a link to the blog about them down below, so find the link below for that, and you can see what they look like. And we are really excited. The benefits of multi-species grazing are endless. I mean, it's just so good on your pastures. The cattle prefer the grass, of course, but of course, if cattle overgraze a pasture, then that's how you get weeds, and then the weeds do really well in the pasture and they start to take over the grass. So actually putting sheep and goats or other species that eat those weeds in with the cattle is actually very beneficial to your pasture. So the sheep prefer the forbs, so the hard weeds, and the goats prefer the leafy trees. Like they actually eat cedar trees, locusts with the thorns, and so all of that together, they actually kill those hard weeds. So you don't have to use any chemical on them. They eventually kill it all out, and you have a luscious, fresh pasture. So that's exciting. They do get along great together in the pasture. The other day, we walked out to the pasture to check a cow that's getting ready to calve, and we couldn't find the goats anywhere. On the way, they weren't laying on the way there, and we walked out there all the way to the edge to where the cows were, and there were the goats laying there with the cows. So they've become friends, and hopefully the sheep will become friends as well. And with a little time they will. They'll probably butt each other around quite a bit, but at first, kind of get their pecking order straight. But eventually they will be friends and get along and do their little grazing. So those are some of the benefits to multi-species grazing. Another benefit is diversifying your income sources. So right now the cattle market's really high, but if the cattle market drops significantly, we have the other sources, the goats or the sheep, that will continue to be high, hopefully. The markets tend to vary so much in the livestock industry or in the farming agriculture industry in general that it's good to have those other sources of income and not put all your eggs in one basket. So that's another reason we're doing it. The third reason that we're doing it is because parasites. We graze the cattle with the sheep and goats, and the cattle actually consume the parasites that affect the sheep and goats, and vice versa with the sheep and goats eat the parasites that affect the cattle. So in general, they are vacuuming each other's parasites. So less worming, less dewormer to have to give. So those are the main benefits. Some of the problems that we could face, like I mentioned before, is bullies. So they just have to work that out. It's just something they have to work out. If they don't get it worked out, they might have to go to the sale barn. We're just gonna have to figure that out in time. But I really think if we give them some time, they'll work it out, and they'll figure their problems out, their differences out. Another major problem that we've talked about, and I don't really think it's that major anymore, but it's the trace, getting enough trace minerals to each of the species. Sheep cannot have the copper that's in the cattle and goat minerals, so it's going to be an issue. I think what we're going to do is feed the sheep mineral to the goats too, while they're all together. But when they're separated, we're going to separate them off when they kid and when they breed, so they will get their goat mineral during that time. And we actually do feed a cattle mineral that has a good amount of copper in it, so they will get their copper during that time and all their trace minerals. But in the meantime, when the sheep and goats are together, they will be consuming a sheep mineral that does not have the right amount of copper, but they'll be getting their other trace minerals as well. One thing we could do to get around it is to copper bolus them once a month. It's just a little bolus pill that you shove down their throats, and we really don't want to do that. We think that if we offer them their goat mineral a few times a year for an extended amount of time, that will help with the problem. So I've talked to you about the benefits and about some of the problems that we might face. Fencing, we have all of our pasture is woven wire, and I will post a link to that down below, that post about woven wire and about all the fencing options, but we believe that woven wire is the best option that you can have. It is a little more pricey than like electric fence or barbed wire, but it is a good investment for future. We know that they won't escape the woven wire. It keeps them in perfectly. So that is my opinion on the fence. So what we can expect, some of the results that we can expect is a healthy pasture, less weeds, more grass, and then the most importantly, we want all of our cattle and goats and sheep to gain well on our pasture. So by offering them a diverse resource of vegetation, of healthy vegetation, they will show those maximized results and get us more gains for our buck. And that's our main goal here, is to make money, because you have to make money doing what you do. So that's my opinion on that. So that is my multi-species grazing story. That's all I have for you today. So join us on Wednesday for a look around the farm. I think we're going to show you the sheep, and you'll see how cute they are, and that is it. So have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!